Big news coming out of the AEW stratosphere on this very day. We'll get to if they're good news or bad news in just a moment. But this morning, president and founder and owner of All Elite Wrestling, Tony Khan, appeared on Busted Open Radio to announce that their programming on TNT would be growing this very year. The fact remains that in August of this year, AEW plans to launch a second show, a 1-hour show called Rampage, that will start airing on Friday nights at 10 p.m. in that time slot. That's what he mentioned. And that will be complimentary to Dynamite. It's going to be, as in his own words, a third hour of Dynamite on the same level of entertainment, the same level of importance, but on a different night, simply because he did not want to add a third hour to the Dynamite broadcast currently airing every Wednesday night and tonight on TNT. A little shot at Monday Night Raw, perhaps? Who knows? But the fact is that once you add more programming on any network, numbers go up. And I don't just mean ratings. I don't just mean viewerships. I mean money, money, money. I mean the money numbers go up. Because it's being reported that this deal represents anywhere from 10 to about 90, 95, even $100 million that AEW is going to gain in this brand new deal that's already been in the works previous to the deal that they got for themselves when they renewed their contract with TNT. So that's going to be starting up in August, but that's not going to be it, because next year in 2022, all of that, Dynamite on Wednesday nights and Rampage on Friday nights, it's going to be moving to TNT's sister station, one of the most historic stations in professional wrestling history. Pretty much the station that started it all for the southern-based wrestling promotions. I'm talking about TBS. Dynamite and Rampage moving to TBS starting in 2022. And that's not going to be all of their presence, because Tony Khan also mentioned, he also announced that in 2022, big news coming out for that year for AEW, they're going to have quarterly specials airing on TNT, somewhat of a supercard, kind of like the NWA and WCW used to do with Clash of the Champions back in the day. So a lot of going on with AEW, with TNT, with TBS, and frankly, let's just start with the movements. They're moving their shows off of the more recognized, more premium, or at least that's how I view it, more premium channel in TNT. They are moving it to TBS, which, like I said, over the years, other than Nitro, TBS has been the traditional spot for professional wrestling broadcasting since the 80s. That's been the traditional way of airing sports entertainment. So, them taking that programming off of the premium channel in TNT might not be the best move, because it takes eyes away from it. In my view, it could possibly devalue the show in the eyes of the mainstream audience. As a wrestling fan, as a wrestling audience, we understand that as far as professional wrestling goes, broadcasting is broadcasting. If you're airing your show, whether it may be on Access TV, on TNT, on TBS, on the USA Network, on Vice TV, on HD Net back in the day, which is now Access TV, broadcasting, you're airing your show. You've got distribution. That's what matters in today's day and age with professional wrestling. So AEW's marketing campaign is trying to spin it as a great move because they're moving to more traditional TBS, but at least in my point of view, it's just my call, my opinion. They are moving off of the top channel to their secondary channel, both shows, and just letting those supercards for 2022 be the outlet that fans can catch on a quarterly basis and just say, I might like this, and maybe I tune into TBS later to catch the rest of the shows. If not, then it won't really matter. And yeah, so AEW is increasing their programming, and I gotta say, Rampage is now going to be on the top of my list, on the top of my list of programming to catch once it starts airing, of course, because they recently launched Dark Elevation and Dark on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, and by all means you should check it out. I haven't had that luxury, but I've always looked at it as developmental shows, as supplemental programming that I don't need to watch to catch up on AEW. I still view it that way, but now AEW's going to have 4 shows, 4 different broadcasts, and again, to me it's still Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, Elevation, or whatever, however you want to switch those last 2, however you want to switch them. That's why I leave them. But overall, news coming out of AEW, in my opinion, other than the money and the fact that they're gaining a second show on national and cable television, other than those news, it seems like a step down for AEW to go down to TBS. But again, like I said, for professional wrestling these days, any kind of television distribution is good news. It's good for anyone else. So AEW is growing. That's what we should be focusing on. And yeah, congrats on AEW. Congrats on the talent that's now going to have more chances of showcasing their talents on all these 4 different shows. So I'm kind of seeing the silver lining here overall. But if you think I might be wrong, if you agree with me, if you have entirely different thoughts on what's going on with AEW, go ahead and leave your comments on the comments section below. I've been Alexis Carrillo. Tune in just a few minutes to one of the last Dynamite broadcasts on TNT tonight to see what goes on. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night, and see you next time.